Let's speak about Workhorse, baby. What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor. I got the clothing line to prove that fact. And yet again, there is another short seller in regards to Workhorse, baby. So this time, it's coming from somebody who works for a company called Lakewood Capital. Now, I did go ahead and do a little bit of research into these guys in general. And, I found a couple of concerning things. But then I found this article that is on the screen by Seeking Alpha. And there is some information there that we will go through in today's video in regards to why, I wouldn't really care for these guys' opinions too much. Let's just say they haven't made the best calls in the past in general. And also, as I've been saying on the channel as of late, it's very easy to be a bear during a bear market. The same way it's very easy to be a bull during a bull market. That's why you've got to be able to form your own thoughts and opinions, my friend. But there is one thing that I can say without a doubt, it has been an absolute bloodbath for Workhorse stock over the last couple of weeks, as it has been for the large majority of EV related stocks and growth stocks in general. And the broader market is selling off too. I mean, the Dow Jones just had its worst day, I think, since early September. I mean, it hasn't been good for anybody. So we're obviously going to speak briefly about this, why I'm not worried about this in particular. But I also really want to speak about Workhorse's up and coming Q3 earnings. I want to speak a little bit more about the fact that as of this moment in time, the bears have the power. And that is also partly why I am not investing in much at the moment. Because bears are in control, my friends. You don't have to buy every single dip or every single pullback. But I do obviously want to reaffirm the fact that I haven't sold a single share of Workhorse. I am contemplating buying more. I'm just waiting for the right time. And I also want to reinstate the fact that from day one, this has been a highly speculative, high-risk growth stock. There has always been the potential to lose considerable money here, but there is also the potential to make a whole lot of juicy money down the line, and I'm still very excited about this company. So right before we get into the video, my friends, can I please ask you to hit that juicy like button? Please drop me a comment down below. Let me know where you stand on Workhorse right now, because I know there's a lot of mixed emotions out there. And if you are new around here, please consider hitting that juicy red subscribe button. We're less than 1,000 subs away from 50,000, which is absolutely insane. But anyway, my friends, into the video. So guys, here's the very first thing I want to speak about. Workhorse slips as Lakewood's Boza pitches it as a short, okay? So Workhorse Group is falling after Lakewood Capital's Anthony Boza pitched the stock as a short at the Robinhood Investors Conference. Now, there isn't necessarily a short article written about this, so we can't go through exactly what they've said. But from what I've gathered, not too much information was given. There isn't a short article they read or published or anything like that. It's not a fuzzy panda type ordeal or anything, there's no big scandal happening. They're just short on the company, which is fine, You're allowed to be short if you want to be. That's the way the world works. So this was the first article I read, okay? And there's no information here. Absolutely nothing. So I obviously went ahead and I looked a little bit into Lakewood Capital, looked a little bit into Anthony Boza, okay? And then after I had done this research, I stumbled across this article here, which makes it look really, really simple. So very worth keeping in mind, this is just an article written by one person on Seeking Alpha, okay? Workhorse stock sells off on a bogus short sale pitch. I say ignore and buy more with a $40 price target. Now you guys know I'm not putting price targets on there. I'm not telling anybody to buy, sell or do anything in between. This is just one person's opinion on the internet. He goes on to say, I don't trust Lakewood Capital bogus short sell opinion. Boza track record is hit and miss. Why Workhorse is screaming buy and offers huge growth ahead. So a few years ago, this particular short, Boza, posted a short seller rating on Axon Enterprise, okay? Back in December of 2018, at the time the stock was trading around $35 to $40 a share, okay? Now it trades over $100 a share. Axon Enterprise was formerly known as Taser International Inc. and changed its name in April 2017, okay? Anthony Boza has a 2 out of 5 correct call rating, so it's not a very good track record right off the bat. And he is coming out with this when it's crashed already. I mean, this isn't any dip, my friends. I mean, we were up at $30 a share. We're down 43%. It's very easy to come out and, say I'm short on a stock when it's already down 43%. That should really go without saying. But I do think that's the first thing to understand a little bit more about this man right here, Anthony Boza, and his track record in the past. Now, this did most certainly lead to a sell-off. I mean, yesterday we went down 6.9%. We've been going down every day, though. I don't really think it was because of this man. I think this is just what Workhorse is doing. Again, pre-market, we're down 3.5%. The market opens about 2 hours as of recording this. And this is a good time to speak about why I'm not just loading the boat as of right now. I've had so many people ask me, if I believe in this company so much, why am I not buying now at $17.25? I had the same people ask me, why am I not buying more at 23 after this dip that we saw here, after this 11% dip? And why am I not buying more here at 22? Why am I not buying more at 20.50? I mean, I've spoken about where I stand on the broader market right now. It's not in a good position. It's terrible, in fact. All I need to say is, is the Roni, the presidential election, and all of the uncertainty that comes with it. That's not even just speaking about Workhorse, that is speaking about the market in general. So this right here is a lesson that not every single dip means that you have to buy. Because yeah, you could have bought here at an 11% dip, and it just proceeded to go down another 27%. That's why I'm not rushed to buy Workhorse, or any other stock for that matter, guys. I mean, these truly are very uncertain times. I'm going to put it that way to you. Does that mean I think we're at bad value? Not whatsoever. I would be very happy to buy at these prices. It's looking like we're going to open maybe in the 15s or 16s today, which is a price I literally never thought we were going to see again. But anyway, we move on. So this man goes on to say, I believe Workhorse stock should be holding in every investor's speculative portfolio right now. I think that's a very important word to have in there. We've all said from day one, high growth, high spec company. In my opinion, Workhorse is most definitely soon to get a large part, if not all, of the US Postal Service fleet upgrade contract, which is a new fleet of 165,000-ish vehicles, and it will be worth $6 to $8 billion. And I would agree, that's the whole reason we all invested in Workhorse in the first place, and a lot of people are selling off now because there have been more shorts coming out ever since, you know, we didn't get it announced October 13th, 14th. So remember I went through this, the recent SEC filing shows Workhorse believes it get at least 40,000 vehicles under the contract, which represents approximately at least 25%. That's what's going to lead to, you know, paying back lower interest rates on the 200 million they recently got. They go on to say the recent sell-off has generated a great buying opportunity, and I must say, I agree. As biased as I am, as much as I love this company, I agree. If we open at 1650 today, okay, we are going back to levels we were at the 14th of July. We were higher than that the 2nd of July. In fact, there has not been much time we were lower than this. So the risk to reward ratio right now is considerably better than it was when we were at $24, $28, $30 a share. The only thing that has changed about Workhorse stock, okay, is the price. All fundamentals have gotten the same. And bring yourselves back to here. Bring ourselves back to June, to July. We've gotten so much positive news since then. The only thing that has changed is the stock's price. I mean, let's keep in mind as well, Roth Capital does still have a $27 price target on them, even though they brought it back down to neutral. Considering we're at 17 now, that's decent. ARK Invest is still holding their position. Some of you guys might have seen my video recently where I spoke about ARK Invest selling 3,303 shares of Workhorse. Just yesterday they purchased 3,302, so things are looking really weird, but at the end of the day, they are still holding as many shares as they always have, and they have been buying in general. We're in a strong cash position, and I think this is something that people need to understand. A lot of people aren't thinking for themselves right now. A lot of people aren't willing to look at the bigger picture right now because it's a bloodbath in Workhorse, in the EV market in general, in the broader markets. There's been loads of short reports coming out. It's a bloodbath, and it's hard to remember all of the positive things that we've spoken about in the past. Just think of all the new people we're hiring, okay? Please for a second remember the Hitachi partnership. Think of all of the new capital that we have gone ahead and raised. You wouldn't do that for no reason. I mean, Workhorse couldn't do all of that without production going up absolutely massively one way or another very soon. And remember that 200 million loan at 4% that will drop to 2% or so with the USPS contract if we get 40,000 minimum orders. The loan has a stock conversion price above $35 a share. Now that tells us that investors who did the loan deal are very comfortable in the future of Workhorse. This is 200 million we're speaking about, my friends. I mean, you want to speak about ARK Invest? What, they have about 14.6 million in there as of today. This is big money, and big money is comfortable at $35 a share. And again, as I briefly just somewhat mentioned, a company doesn't go for a $200 million loan if they don't expect a huge product demand coming very soon, which of course we expect to be the USPS contract, but it could be absolutely anything. Think every major retailer in the US right now. So that's where I stand on pretty much all of the shorts that are going to come out over the next while. It's easy to be a bear during a bear market. I'm not too worried about it whatsoever. I form my own thoughts and opinions. I'm either going to make money or I'm going to lose money. That's what happens in the stock market. Now, the next thing I would like to speak about is this, because I've seen a few people speaking about it lately. A few people have been asking me for my thoughts on this. So, Workhorse Group sets their third quarter 2020 earnings call for Monday, November 9th, 2020. Our Q3 earnings. Now, I have said this in probably one or two videos, but in case you haven't heard me speak about this, I don't expect Q3 to be very good, but who invested in Workhorse for the Q3 earnings? You didn't invest in them because you wanted to sell at Q3 earnings. You invested in them because of the USPS contract, because of what they could be 10 years down the line, or maybe even 1 year, 6 months, 2 years down the line. So I don't expect Q3 to go very well, which for us bulls is actually a bad thing, okay? And let me explain why I think that is. And this is also part of the reason why I haven't been investing more as of late. It's because bears are already in control. Now, one saving grace is the fact that this is November 9th. Presidential election, Tuesday the 3rd of November. So our Q3 earnings are coming out 6 days after the election, okay? So depending on what happens here, I think this is going to have a much bigger effect on the broader market and also the EV market in particular and Workhorse stock than Workhorse's Q3 earnings will. So essentially, I think that one way or another, this is either going to be very good or very bad for the company. If they come out with a very good Q3, like, I mean, if we've delivered over 100 vehicles, which I will say right now I don't expect us to have done, I think that would be incredible. I think that would be really good and would far exceed expectations. Even if we saw 40 or 50 vehicles delivered, I think that would be much better than expected. But I don't see that happening. I do think that Q4 will be the earnings report that will tell us a lot about the short-term future of this company. I don't think Q3 is very important, sadly. But I know that a lot of people don't think like me, and a lot of people just want to see every earnings report be very good. So please learn to think for yourself, learn to look at the bigger picture, my friends. I've already accepted I don't think Q3 is important, and I've also accepted I don't think it's going to be well received. Best case scenario, I'm wrong and we post a really good Q3. That would be amazing. I'm just not being too optimistic because I don't think it's going to happen. So just be aware of that. Of course, we'll keep our eyes out. Of course, I will cover it. I will more than likely go live for this, as, I mean, it's Workhorse and it's Q3 earnings. And some big news could most certainly come out, especially considering it's 6 days after the election. But it is something to keep in the back of our minds for a little while, guys. I'm going to keep saying this about Workhorse for a very long time. And I have been saying it for more than 3, probably 4 months at this stage. It's a high risk, high spec growth stock. You could lose a lot of money here, but I also think it genuinely has the potential to be a 10x one day in the future if they do the things I expect them to do. Now, when I say in the future, I don't mean in 6 months. I don't mean in a year. I'm speaking potentially 5, 10 years down the line, which would still be absolutely incredible. But I've always acknowledged the fact that they could well drop in price very swiftly, especially in the short term if we don't get any of the USPS contract. I'm just trying to give you both sides of the stories here. I also did call when we hit $30 for a second time, and the day before that I told you if you weren't able for the volatility to sell out. And that's not in my best interest. I'm a bull, I want people buying, but I did forewarn people. I didn't sell a single share. Maybe I should have. I could have a whole lot more shares at these prices. It is what it is. That's not the kind of investor I am. But anyway, guys, that's all I really have to say. I just wanted to address that news short interest, and also what I'm thinking over the next couple of weeks in regards to Q3 earnings. The bears are in control. We have to accept that, you know. The large majority of the time, if you're going to be in the market for 50 years, the bulls will be in control, but there will be times where we're not, and we're going to have to be okay with that. But anyway, my friends, that's the Workhorse update, baby. So boom, if you have watched this video all the way till the end, you, my friend, are a true legend, and I really do appreciate you being here. Just watching the video helps me out so much, so thank you. And look, guys, I know it's not looking very pretty for Workhorse right now, but this is what we signed up for. This is what we signed up for with Workhorse and all of our other growth stocks, all of our other speculative stocks, you know. Obviously, we want them to go to the moon, but we always should have acknowledged the fact they could have gone down, especially in the short term, and that's exactly what's happening right now. Am I worried? I mean, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried. I think when you're a growth stock investor, you kind of have to be sometimes. But that does not mean that I have any intention of selling. I've somewhat already accepted the fact I'm bag holding these guys at least until we find out some definitive information about the USPS contract. And it really is that simple. Doesn't need to be any more complicated than that for me personally. If you enjoyed today's video, you enjoyed my insights, maybe you took some value and entertainment, please consider hitting that like button, my friends. Drop me a comment down below, subscribe if you're new around here. All of that means the world to me, helps me out so much. And with that being said, my friends, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. Please don't let what's happening in the market short term get to your head too much. I will see you for another video very soon. Peace.